Hello, people. Hello, everyone. My name's Dominic,
Let's go.
and this is United Sauce and Wingers. Thank you so much for joining us. Whenever you watch it, if you're joining live, if you're going to join later, if you watch it, I don't know, when you're doing your hair, or I don't know, when you're having a cup of tea, enjoy the video. This video is a different take. All right. This stream today is about what I've seen today, and I like to keep it just completely real. I've seen a lot of negativity on Twitter, in the social media world, essentially. And I want to talk about it because we're all human beings, and I know we're all passionate about football, but I feel like there's something going on. And in this sort of short show, we're going to get to the bottom of it. And I hope you come on the journey, have your say, let us know your thoughts in the comments as well, because at the end of the day, we just want to have fun, enjoy our football team, but there's got to be a limit, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into the depths of it. So, guys, let's do this. Yes, again, welcome to the show. My name's Dominic. This is United Sauce and Wingers, just a Manchester United channel where we can talk about our team that we love. We can come together as a small community and just talk football and have fun and enjoy it. We're top of the league, and that is so important. But there's something else that's so important, and that is what runs and kind of powers every football club. Us. It's the fans. We are the football club. Without the fans, it means nothing. No one goes to the matches. The players don't get paid. There's no community. There's no passion. There's no game. We are the fans, and I just want to talk about it because today it was a weird one. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm still going to do the Burnley preview after this show because it's a huge game. But sometimes topics like this take precedent, and they need to be spoken about because there's so many people out there of all different ages, of all different backgrounds, all going through completely different struggles, and we have to draw a line at some point in terms of us as football fans. We have to draw a line, and I'm hoping everybody that's watching this feels the same, that we can support our team, but we can't go to that next level. And we're going to talk about it. Naji, thank you so much for joining me, man. I hope you're all good.
I'm blessed, bro. How are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Thank you for joining, guys. So we're going to get straight into this, okay? This video is going to talk about the negativity that I'm seeing on Twitter in terms of football, not just the negativity within the fan base, Man United fan base, but also directly to the players, the coaching staff, and the teams. I want to get your thoughts because I'm going to tell you straight up. I made this channel when did I make this channel? November 2020, right? And the reason I made this channel is because it was a tough time. It was a tough year for everyone, right? And I was at home, couldn't go out anywhere. I loved talking about Manchester United. I went on the United stand a few times. I've gone on other channels a few times, and I love talking about Manchester United. Most importantly, with Manchester United fans, to see all the different opinions and to get all the different sort of passion and even make friends on Twitter and so forth. It's fantastic, and I loved it. I said to myself, I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel. Never really had the time. I've got a young son. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make a YouTube channel because it'll keep my mind busy. I do all the graphics myself. It's just, I like doing this sort of stuff. So I said, look, let's just make a fan channel and Manchester United channel and go from there and just make a small little community and talk to people that love Manchester United just as much as me. I want to talk quickly, though, what the roles of fan channels for me means to me. And I'll get your thoughts as well, Naji. Fan channels are huge, okay? They've grown from absolutely nothing to massive communities, right? I remember the old days. I'm not going to say all the different names of fan channels, but I remember the old days when we had to rely on pundits. We had to rely on newspaper outlets. And sometimes you know what they're like. They can't say everything they want to say. There's censorship involved. They can't go and tell the real honest truth. So fan channels came out of nowhere and started actually getting the fans' opinion. That was the most important thing. They'll go to every game. They'll get the views of people straight after the game. And the reason it blew up so much is because people were getting a voice. And it was unfiltered, it was raw, and it was good to watch and understand and make friends and make a community. And to me, that's why I will always back fan channels. And the reason I back fan channels is if they do it in the right way, and they get people involved and the right fans and the right comments and don't push agendas. Fan channels give so much positivity. Like for me, right, I see lots of different fan channels, and I know those people behind the scenes as well. Fan channels are not easy. It is blood, sweat, and tears. It is hard. Say you just had an argument with your wife, or you literally tripped up and hit your toe, and you're in so much pain. You have to put your smile on your face every single time you put that camera. You have to try and keep your viewers entertained at the same time, informed with the right sort of information. You have to make sure that it's true. You have to make sure that the team that you're working with are informed, and there's so much that goes into it. And you have to do it day in, day out, looking for the native issues. It is hard. And during these crazy times, people, look, I watch so many different fan channels because I love getting that information and then kind of forming my own opinion, right? And during these crazy times, I know for a fact people crave companionship, and there's nothing wrong with saying that you don't want to feel alone. In lockdown in England, we're in another lockdown, and people can't even go see their go see their friends, play football, all these different things. Having that at a touch of a button, you can go and see all the different people that support Manchester United. That is amazing, and that should never go. You're not going to go and ring up Sky Sports News and say, "Oh, what do you think about Rashford?" or "How good was Scott McTominay?" You're not going to get that. So the role of fan channels is so important. How important has it been to you, Neji, fan channels?
I kind of grew up the same way you, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? I remember the younger days when Beckham was still at United, and I couldn't wait for every Sunday. So every Sunday we'd go around to Grandma's house. We'd go around, go get the food, the Caribbean food. You know what I mean? And I'd always know that she'd have the mirror or the sun waiting for me. It used to be the mirror.
Yeah.
So we'd go around and I'd be straight on the back page and I'd be looking for everything for United. And I remember. That was our source of information. Do you know what I mean? No phones, no internet like that. I was still using teletext to look at scores. If you remember teletext, like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have the access before, and I think where fan channels now, skip a few years, fan channels now have more access than anything. Like, even to the stage where people don't even rely on Sky Sports now.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, people actually look at Sky Sports and go, "You're way behind." I mean, when we had Donny van der Beek, Fabrizio Romano actually confirmed him coming, and that he said, "Here we go." And when he said, "Here we go," I actually had Sky Sports on just randomly, and it took them over. I think it was the next morning for them to actually, do you know what I mean, post the news. So as I said, everything's easily accessible now. Do you know what I mean? With social media, the difference is, I made a little tweet the other day saying the great thing about social media is that everyone can have it. The worst thing about social media is that everyone can have it, and it literally is that. And we're nowadays we're talking to profile pictures. We're not talking to actual people.
What though? At the same time, Neji, I don't mind. Look, it's weird. It's like in the sort of LinkedIn world. Like if I go to a LinkedIn page and I don't see the picture, I'm always a bit like, why have you not put your picture up there? But at the same time, I can't judge, right? If people want to use avies and all these things, fair play to them. It's what they write for me. It's what they tweet, because that tweet is powerful, so powerful. The thing I love about this, Neji, and you brought up a really good point, is that we've started the channel in November. End of November I started it, and everybody that comes on the show, there's never agendas, they're never lashing out, they're just saying their opinion on football. And I always say, let's talk about football, because at the end of the day, we do not know these people, we don't know their families, we know that. Do you know what I mean?
Let me get a bit closer, sorry. I think that's the fun side of it though, because I think for so many people, fan channels, whether we're doing the videos like me and yourself, or whether we're actually just having genuine conversations with those guys in the comments, because we have got a platform to have our opinion. Not everyone's opinion is based on logic. Some people think it is, some people it isn't. Like, it depends on what floats your boat. But regardless, everyone has a platform, regardless now. Before, you used to just have your conversations with your family, friends, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now you can put it out there in the world. And let's be honest, I would have dreamed the days where I used to send Cristiano Ronaldo like fan letters when I was little. Like,
no way.
Yeah, I never got a reply, so it's blessed. Big at yourself, Ronaldo, innit? But you get me? I used to send that. Now, like, you can tweet him and knowing that potentially you may see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how far we've come. So because we are so much closer to the pitch in that respect, it feels like we have more of a say. And this generation of players, in my opinion, are of a mentality that is not as strong or as robust. So the more accessible to hate, the more accessible to poor mental health. And as humans, I look at footballers as humans. I know I slate people left, right, and centre, not for the sake of slating them or because I think I'm a big man, just for the simple fact that my passion comes out. So if I have certain standards for my team, I'm always going to say it. But the difference is I'm always that person no matter where when it comes to sport. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's my teammates, whether it's me having to pick my teammates up when I'm training or when I'm having to compete myself, I'm always that person. That's just something to me. But some people just use the platform because ultimately they've got stuff going on in their life and they've got no outlet. So their outlet ends up being
it's just
footballers or whatever.
hate.
And I think this becomes the issue because you can have a following, but you could be a toxic person. And if you're a toxic person with a following, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're saying. What you're saying gets heard, and people take that on board. And for people who are a little bit vulnerable, for people who don't really understand football opinions or fan opinions or intentions, you can get consumed. And I think that's where we're at now, and it's a shame, man.
Man, it is a shame, man. Let me talk to the comments. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for joining in. Like again, we got the Burnley preview after this show, but I just wanted to get this in because like we're all just normal human beings here, and I love my team, and I know you love your team. Every time I talk, every time I go on a little rant or whatever, and I'm passionate, I always do my disclaimer. This is nothing personal. This is about football, and I always talk about overlapping, touches, going to the byline, crossing, getting your shooting boots on, your space, your awareness. I'm not talking about anybody personally because that's not who I am. That's not how I've been brought up, right? In the comments, Ahmed, what's going on, brother? It's a beautiful thing that fans have a voice, but we have to use it in the right way. Exactly. This is what is so important. And there's these people on Twitter, on social media, and some fan channels, okay, that are taking it too far. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or why they're doing it. But when you have a following like that, you have to take that responsibility in how you're doing it, okay? Especially if you've got a huge following, you have to be careful and mindful of what you're doing and how you're saying it. Buggy Vibes also goes, how much late? No, not too late, man. We're just getting started. Carl, find me a video. Goldberg doesn't crap on Maguire. After Pogba made a penalty vs Arsenal, over 15 videos were made about Pogba before his I'm leaving comments. Fan channels create hidden feed. Look, I don't want to talk about any particular fan channels. Just no way. I'm not doing that. I've been on the United Stand, and you're always going to have different views on it. I absolutely rate Goldbridge, how dedicated he is to it, massively dedicated. And for me, what I see from the United Stand and other fan channels is that they're looking at content and they're taking that news in and they're using fan opinion. The content comes from the fans. They said it's a fan channel for the fans, right? So if he's talking about Maguire or Pogba, it's because that's what people want to talk about, right? He's a fan just like us, and we have to respect what's happening there. I'm talking about what I'm talking about here is when people on Twitter and people on social media or fan channels start going beyond, wait a minute, is Maguire good or bad? Is Bailly injured or prone? And they start hating people. That's wrong. That is wrong. Ethan, subscribers and a couple of likes changes everything. Guy gets a couple of likes or followers on Twitter and he thinks you can tell your opinion is wrong. Nobody's opinion is wrong. We are 100%. Naji, it's so important. My opinion is not more valid than yours or anybody who's watching any streams. No way.
Our opinion is only a fact to ourselves. That's why our passion is. Everything else, like I know 100% that something I would be saying, as much as I believe in them, like it's the Bible. Some people just thinking, Naji, shut the F up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's opinion. It's opinion. You know I mean? The reason I'm here right now, and again, the reason I started this channel is because it was a low time in lockdown. I had nothing to do. I've always wanted to start a channel, but I've got a young son. I didn't have time. I had a bit more time because I wasn't going out anywhere, and I love talking to Man United fans. This is why I started it, just to get a nice small little community.
Bro, I'm just gonna go get a charger. Keep it moving. I'll be back. In 2 seconds.
No worries. You go, guys. You go. So for me, it was one of those situations where I wanted to have an outlet and meet new people, see what everybody's thinking and get the thoughts. But it should never go beyond hate. Guys, I saw a tweet, right? And listen to this tweet and tell me what you think about this, right? I don't mind fan channels having different opinions to mine, but when they start coming out and saying they hate this player and that player and saying they hate the manager they're not fans. I'm sorry. This tweet was on Twitter, right? And for me, I have to agree. I can't sit by and just see someone saying, I hate this person or I hate this player. You do not know them. You do not know their background, what they're going through, what their family situation is, how hard they've worked. You have no right to say you hate someone. That's not right, and it never will be right. I will never advocate someone saying that. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. What makes your opinion more valid than anybody else's opinion? There's some people out there that say you're not a real fan if you haven't been to a match or you haven't got a season ticket. Again, not having that. I'm not having that. You're just a fan as much as a fan if you live in Blackpool in England or you live in flicking Zimbabwe, Asia, anywhere in Asia. You're a fan more than anybody else. We are all fans because we love our team and we want them to do well. In this channel, we have people coming on, right? And every comment I see is something to do with, okay, this player can get better, or he's not playing in his right position, or we need to change it up, or the subs are coming on too late. It's never a situation where, who's this guy? Oh, no. We never do that. And that's what we got to concentrate on, right? I'm going to give you a couple of what we can do and what we can't do. All right, listen up and tell me what you think about this, okay? As fans, what we can do, we can have constructive criticism, 100%. We can be passionate. I'm going to go crazy if we win this league. I will literally probably take my top off and go mental. Honestly, I will go absolutely crazy because I'm a passionate fan, all right? We can get behind the team. We can analyze the team to death, make sure that we're looking at the tactics and the formation going forward, coming back. And most importantly, guys, we can have a laugh. But what we cannot do, and I'm imploring you, anybody who's watching this, please do not do this, right? Be abusive. Think anyone's opinions is better than yours. Think anybody's opinions is like not as good as yours, and all their opinions are trash. Hate human beings you don't know, haven't got a clue, right? And attack the own United fans. How on earth are we attacking each other? I've seen United fans go, United fans, Video D, I won't take my top off, but I'll be honest with you, I do go gym. But anyway, I've seen United fans, right, attack United fans. How on earth, my mind can't comprehend how on earth United fans are attacking United fans. We've got how many teams in the Premier League that we need to try and psychologically, go, oh yeah, your team's rubbish, Chelsea, Werner who? We need that energy for them, not for each other. That is not what we're about. I'm sorry. Make sure you're not one of those people. I'm imploring you. I'm begging you not to be that guy. Oh man, it's crazy how we all support Manchester United, but we are putting our own against each other in a negative way, not healthy comparisons. It's constantly Pogba v Bruno, Marshall v Rashford, 100%. And you know where this comes from, right? Neji said it really clearly, and he's going to let me know when his audio is sorted out. Neji said to me clearly, right? He said to me that sometimes people need an outlet and they don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They go behind a Twitter and they're like, yeah, this is my time to shine. I'm going to antagonize. I'm going to say some awful stuff. And then you get other people that have a bigger following and they want to do the same thing. It's not right. We are Manchester United supporters first. Those fans, right, what Neji said, these players do see tweets. They do see it. They might see it, but not just reply to you. They're not going to do that. But we saw all the abuse Pogba got because he dances. We see the abuse that Dan James get. I've never in my life, and I never would ever abuse Dan James. I don't know him. All I say for Dan James is that I think he needs to go on loan so he can get improve his end product. This is a football constructive criticism. That's the difference. That is the difference. I'm going to come to you in a second, AJ. I just want to get some more things in. So, Sandro, I don't care about which channel. If you spread hate, you lose all reason. Better channels do that. Look, okay, I'm not going to start bringing out certain channels, but look, everybody has a right to their opinion, and so do you, Sandro. And it's clear to see which ones are crossing the lines. It's not hard. We've got here. It's about opinion. People can't accept because have different opinions. But I agree with you. Hate is wrong and agenda is wrong. 100%. 100%. Carl, Twitter's always done this. Pogba, Fellaini, Rashford, even Lukaku have received disgusting hate for years for trying. Now it's on Scott, Igalo, Rashford. Unfortunately, scapegoating is here to stay. Nate G, right? As a player, okay, if you see your fan base going into you every time and it's not constructive criticism, it's just like, this guy's washed, get him out, he's awful, he can't do anything better. If you see that and you're on Twitter, they're on Twitter just as much as we are, right? How's that going to help your performance? Tell me.
Honestly, I don't think it does. And I think even me being an honest person, I think I've been critical at times when I'm so passionate and so pissed
Yeah,
off.
of course.
It's a nasty, toxic combination. But one thing I'll always do is rewatch myself and say, you know what, I can do better. I remember there was a guy on a specific fan channel, and I remember commenting in the normal comments saying that you're chatting rat poison, blah blah blah. And I had to reflect on myself and go, bro, like that's not even me, fam. Like
Yeah,
that's not me. And obviously, after about 2 hours, I actually inboxed him personally and just said, yo, I'm sorry, man. This is how I felt. This is what I go on. It's not right. There's a lot of hate. And he actually responded saying, you know what? I was having a really tough time anyway behind the camera. So I really appreciate what you said. I know it's just an opinion. And then, from there, we got the respect. But sometimes you have to watch yourself. As a human being, there's a bit of, how can I put it? There's a bit of innocence to how you act and behave.
yeah,
Where the innocence is taken away is when you know you've done wrong and you continue to do it. That's a conscious level. That's you being
yeah.
you. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not Maguire's biggest fan. I strongly dislike Maguire as a player. As a person, I don't know the brother. Do you know what I mean? He could be the sickest guy in the world. I don't know him. So whenever people talk about an opinion, make sure people are talking first and foremost
About the
regarding a football opinion.
That's it.
Two, they have their facts to actually, I'm not saying facts like stats. What I'm saying is they have some logic and some explanation to, they may go, like for example, myself, I cannot stand how Maguire seems to struggle when the ball's coming across the box and he can't get rid of it. I hate the fact that when he's getting a header on target or off target, he never seems to go in no matter what. And we bought him for that. I hate the fact he cost 80 million. There's so much hate in those things. That's fine. But it doesn't mean I hate that person. And I think people have got to really have a look at why they actually dislike somebody and why they actually dislike the footballer. Take the name away. Why do you dislike this type of footballer?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look at this. Prem Prodigy, thank you, bro. Hating our players because they came to the system. Surely we should be praising them. This is what I mean. It's got to a bit now that this is the problem, right? And again, I support fan channels 100% because fan channels have helped so many people who haven't got an outlet or haven't got, maybe they're alone in lockdown. They need some companionship. It is so important, but you have to do it in the right way. And many fan channels are doing it in the right way. And many Twitter accounts are doing it the right way. But there's a portion of Twitter accounts that I've said to myself now, if I see something that they're not doing right, I'm blocking them. See you later. I've guys, if you ever feel right that you're seeing someone say something and it's not about football criticism and they're just coming at you saying your opinion's rubbish, they're not saying, okay, I understand what you're saying. This is my view. Block them. Mute them, do whatever you want to do because they're not going to bring you the positive vibes. In this sort of situation, you can be angry about how the football is and so forth like that, but we can talk about it like human beings, right? You see me in my previous shows. I go in on like, oh gosh, what happened? Like, what happens there? Oh, Lindelof, why did you miss that pass? Bruno, come on, just complete a pass. That's fine. That's what they want to do because the players, guys, are doing that themselves in the changing rooms. They're saying the same thing we are.
The difference is, Dom, like they aren't actually highlighting the criticism and then being personal. There's a difference. You can criticize someone personally in terms of their football ability, i.e., for example, Scott McTominay, you can't make a 5-yard pass consistently in a game. As harsh as that sounds, it's actually a fact because when you watch him play, you will see that happen. So that is a fair criticism. Now, the difference is there's people out there who go, Scott McTominay, you can't make a 5-yard pass. You are a whatever.
It's just, honestly, it makes me sick, man.
That's different.
It makes me sick.
Different. And you can't be doing them things, man. Like, you can't be actually doing them things. If you're around your own family, around your own people, whatever, cool. But on social media, don't go airing that because it doesn't help.
Who do you think you are and have the right to say someone's opinion is wrong? If it's constructive criticism, they're not wrong. They have an opinion. Do not you dare cross the line and start atting people and going for their feelings, going for their family, going for their self-respect and dignity, because you have no idea the person on the other side of that laptop, of that mobile phone, you don't know how they're feeling. You do not know how they're feeling. Sufan says here, I think when a fan decides to hate a player or coach, it's too hard for them to unhate them. They will think, make them weak, even if the player or coach turns out around. 100%. If you have this, it's called unconscious bias, Sufan. You think, oh no, but every time, even if they do something good, you'll be like, oh well, Yeah, well, we should do it again. It's unconscious. Let me get through comments, Neji, and I want to talk about another point as well. Ahmed, the thing is, we all get emotional, 100%, that's fine, but being toxic is different, 100%. You guys realize most of Maguire on Twitter is not about football, and I'm his biggest fan. You know what, Ahmed? Such a good point. I'm so glad you raised that, because I'm telling you right now, and I'll be completely honest,
For that.
if Maguire looked a bit different, he wouldn't be getting this much hate. He's being a target because of the way he plays, the way he looks, and it's not fair. It's not
personality, man. Like, and I think
it's not fair.
Like, you see the media, yeah. Because I had this conversation with Sean before, and it says one thing I can honestly say is that where I feel I wouldn't say I messed up, but one thing I wrongly thought about Maguire is that when we bought him, I thought he was going to be a typical Manchester United centre back. This is what the media made out to be. This is what England made out to be. This is what I thought we were getting. And I thought 80 million, oh my gosh, Bob on. He's generally just not that type of character or personality. He's not Yapstam. He's not the Man Vidic. He's not a real Ferdinand. So my expectations and many Man United expectations of a centre-back that costs that much, that is the captain, is of that kind of calibre of player, that personality. Maguire just isn't that. So is it fair on me? This is something I reflect on. Is it fair on me, to expect that from him? Now, no, the answer is clearly no, it's not. So I have to be mindful of, I have to get rid of that and go, you know what, Maguire, I expect you to be going, commanding the box and expect you to be commanding the back four, and you're probably not that player. And is that your fault that Ollie fancies you there? No, it's not.
No, and they do. We've seen how good he gets when Bailly plays with him. When Bailly plays with him, he becomes like, I've said this before, it's like Men in Black. You know when Kay, he's retiring and Will Smith's like, no worries, I got your back. And then Kay becomes amazing because he's got a good partner. This is one of those situations, guys. Please, if you see any hate that is not right, if you see anybody saying stupid stuff, block them, mute them. Do not give them a voice, because the Man United community, I should be able to type in hashtag MUFC and see constructive criticism, to see good vibes, to say, we're looking forward to the Burnley game. Can we win the title? That's what I should be seeing. I should not see anything about, I hate the manager, I hate this. That is rubbish. That is disgusting. Who are you to say that? It's disgusting. Harvey, the Ollie in out is the Ollie in and the Ollie out is really causing divide on our fan base, and most importantly, they can't accept criticism. At least for a season, we should be together. There is something special going on. Honestly, Harvey, thank you so much for watching, because that is such a good comment, guys. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. I really want as much people to see this.
You know what, Dom?
The more people, sorry, Nate, one sec. The more people that see this, I'm hoping that we can start a movement. And people will be like, actually, I need to watch myself. What am I saying? I love football. We're kicking a ball into a goal. Why am I going in at people? I don't want that. So like it, share it, please, because this is horrible. Neji, go on, bro.
Sorry, bro. I was just saying, like, on a side note, like, you know, I've noticed about the Indian fan base, bro. They're still loyal, but there's so much respect there. And I've always found, like, Sikhs or Indians, whichever you class yourself as, or the Punjabs even. You guys have got so much class in terms of a culture that you can see it in comments. When you see comments like that, there's a genuine understanding and sympathy and empathy that's written. But at the same time, they have a highlight and a mature look of, this is what I don't like, this is what I do actually like. And they construct it in a way which is nice. It's just nice to read stuff like that, man.
Yeah, and you know what? There's some such good comments coming out. Guys, thank you so much for getting involved with this. Ahmed Diallo, I love that name. Why is it Pogba gets all the hate? Because people feel like he disrespected the club, and no one mentions his mental health. This is what I'm saying. These are all human beings. You think Pogba's like, this is why some people say, Pogba, just leave, because you're getting so much abuse physically in the stadium after that match. He got abused. On Twitter, he's getting abused. Social media's abusing him. The newspapers and journalists who are supposed to be impartial are abusing him. This guy's like, why am I getting this? Why am I getting this? Like, look, we can criticize how he's been on the pitch and hoping that he does better because we signed him. He's supposed to be the chosen one. But don't go deeper than that and say you can't go to parties and dance or you can't get a new haircut. What? Are you joking me? So I have to tell my wife she can't have blonde hair. She has to go brown. Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever do that? Ahmed, right? Every time I see a video of Pogba getting abused, I get so sad and heartbreaking. They're human too, big time. Edwin, thanks so much for joining, man. Imagine calling out Greenwood after last night's performance. He's 19, lost friend, committed suicide. Give that young lad time. He's human at the end of the day. Same with Jan's Dames, lost his father. 100%. And Edwin, I'll bring you in a second, AG. Edwin, we talked about this on the previous show yesterday on the match reaction. I said, look, before I start talking about players, this is coming from football. I haven't got a clue who they are in terms of their personal life and their families. They're all human beings. I said about Dan James that I think he should go on loan to improve that end product, because he can get into space, he can beat a player, but his end product is rubbish. And he'll probably say that. He's true. Greenwood looked angry when he didn't make those crosses in the first half. But I would never go further than that. I would never say this guy is terrible, can never play for Manchester United. I know what he's doing, blah, blah. I would not do it. How's that going to help anyone? How is that going to help anyone, AG?
Ultimately, bro, you look at, like, Man United fans have one thing in common. They all want to see their team do well. How you participate in that as a fan is, how do you help that person improve? Sometimes it's being constructive with your criticism, i.e. you have valid points. It's honest. It's an opinion where the players actually say them kind of things to themselves as well. So you got to go, would the players say this to themselves?
Yeah.
Honest and of that mentality? Yes, then maybe it's constructive then. And then you've got to look at the fact that, well, I want that person to actually improve. I would love every single one of our players to be Ballon d'Or players. We don't have that.
Of course I would.
So, no one will be saying nothing, but ultimately that's not the reality we live in. We live in a reality with different personalities, different player traits, and ultimately they're wearing our badge. And I remember Flex once said, about Cavani, like once he puts that shirt on, we got to back him and support him. It's the same with any player. There's no game I go into where I go, you know what, I don't want them to do well. That's the first thing I always highlight. There's never been a game, whether I want certain players to start or not, there's never one game I go into and go, you know what, don't really want you to start, so I'm going to start slating you from then. I judge everyone from every night, from that basic 90 minutes and go from a footballing perspective and constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Added to the fact that I look at certain players' abilities and go, well, this is what I've noticed before, and it's a consistent thing, so now it is annoying. However, doesn't call for hate. And I think when I think we did a channel when Scott played against Leeds, Scott had that fantastic game,
amazing game,
man of the match. And I remember Sean, as always, is one of his favorite fans, giving him the big one. And I remember I gave him a score of 8, but I gave him a little bit of criticism as well, why he didn't get any higher. And it was genuine. But that got clouded because a lot of people know that I dislike Scott. So even some people dislike the fact that, me giving him an 8 is my normal score for Scott has been 4 or 5, maybe a 6 at best. He had an 8 that game from me. So for me, I've highlighted he was an incredible part of that game. However, when it comes to criticizing him as a footballer, there are certain things that I didn't appreciate whilst playing in that position. Closing down on the goal and stuff like that. So
AG, everything you're saying,
that's being constructive, and you have to be constructive when you're looking at 90 minutes of a game, because ultimately, Scott McTominay don't know me. He probably don't want to know me. Let's be honest. He doesn't want to know anyone. Like, I don't think he's for Man United. Every Man United fan would love to play for Man United. These guys are doing it, so don't hate on them. Like, they're doing something you would love to do. Like, show a bit of respect. You get me?
Yeah. Let me just say this now, guys. So my most important thing, right, that we are a fan base. Everybody is watching this video. Anybody in the chat, follow the people in the chat. Get a community of people that are actually like-minded. I've seen these comments of people all saying the exact same thing. It's wrong. It's too far. It's not good. It's not going to help them personally. It's not going to help our team. And it's not going to help anyone. Guys, follow people. Like this video so loads of people can see this, because I want people to understand that it's wrong. My upbringing and how I lived my life and how my mum and my dad brought me up, you don't do this. I love football. I'll never not love football. And I want to make sure that people understand you're going too far. The hate is wrong. I could go on Twitter and see how many tweets. Look, as a black man, right, I've been abused. I've been there's been racist comments thrown at me. I've grown up and I've got a thick skin to push that aside and say, look, they're not educated, they don't know what's going on, or they're just racist, whatever, right? Some people can't do that. Some people haven't got a thick skin, and we can see sometimes that you don't know what they're going to do. Don't be that person. Guys, share this. Talk about it. If you see someone do it, don't be afraid to say, mate, what are you doing? And at me, include me in that tweet, because first of all, I'm going to say what I need to say, and then I'm going to block them. I don't want to see any negative vibes. I don't want to see any bad vibes. This is Manchester United. We're doing something right. I know, obviously, we're up and down, but we're doing something. There's something about Ollie. There's something about the young players he's bringing in. There's something about the team depth that we're getting. There's something that I'm actually enjoying. Looking forward to games. Look, I know people are like, oh, we should have battered them yesterday. It was a rubbish performance. Oh, rubbish. Look, we know it wasn't a good game, but you've put all these random players that never play a game, Jesse, Dan James, Axel, all these people, they met at a bus stop and they've got to play a game against Watford, right? It's never going to be beautiful in the eye. Give the team some time. Constructive criticism, 100%. You'll see my previous show, the match reaction. I was doing constructive criticism, 100%. But that is to try and help them and improve them, and we can talk about it. We can talk about it, and we can feel better about that game, right? Do you get that? So I hope, guys, this has been enjoyable and enlightening, and I really feel like everybody in comments agrees with us, and that's so good to see. People are talking about Dan James here. It's horrific, 100% James. I totally don't like the Dames hate, 100%, man. Oh, thanks so much, Sue fam. We've hit 200 subs. That's amazing. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate that. Hit the like button as well.
Nice,
mate, if I could ever get to 500 subs, I'll be done. I don't need any more. Just to have enough to talk about and have enough people to give me community back. It's a nice small community of people that are nice human beings and love their team. That's all I want. That's all I want. So thanks for all the new joiners. I'm going to be live in about 5 minutes on the Burnley preview, just after this show. Just a nice 15 minutes, just talking about my team lineup, what I expect from the game, and we'll go from there. If you haven't watched the play rating show as well, that's on my channel. It was amazing. It's got the most views on the channel so far. We put each player into tiers, and there's crucial, there's squad player, and all the way down to time to go. It's very interesting who made the crucial, so watch that video as well. And guys, yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully you can join me in the Burnley preview as well. But guys, thank you so much for joining. This is United Sauce and Wingers. Neji, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
You already know, man.
Guys, have a good evening. Peace.
Yes.